Yes, good evening. And I wanted to start by thanking you for your public service and for your patience in hearing so much testimony. And I know this is something that you do over and over, so thank you. My name is John Flaherty. I represent Grossmart, Rhode Island. And I also serve as chair of the State Transportation Advisory Committee, although I'm not speaking for the TAC here this evening. So I'm here also to support all of the transit funding bills, the bike mobility bond, and I want to reserve my 2 minutes to talk more specifically about the transit master plan and the bicycle mobility plan. And I thank Representative Tanzi for introducing both of them. So we've heard a lot of feedback from people this evening about the impact of service cuts and the lack of frequency in our current system and what that means to people. But I wanted to kind of pull back and look at this from 30,000 feet and put Rhode Island in the more national context when it comes to transit. So following COVID, many transit agencies across the country were thrown into a fiscal cliff, in part because of the drop in ridership at the time of COVID, the expiration of federal funding, adjusting to new travel patterns, and so forth. And what we've seen is that there are two kinds of metro regions in our country that came to a fork in the road, and they took two different paths. One were those that invested in better transit, and there were those that chose austerity and service cuts. And I think you know what path we've taken. And I'm here to encourage our state to take the other path. And I wanted to just remind folks that we've got these plans in our state beyond the transit master plan, but we have goals and objectives related to economic development, to housing, to climate action. I'm holding up for the benefit of folks at home. This is our state's 5-year economic development strategy. This is our state's 5-year housing development strategy. And this is our state's 2025 climate action strategy. When you take those together and you word search them, the words public transit appear more than 115 times as a vital component to achieving the goals in those plans. And it sort of makes you, think, what's the point of doing these plans if we aren't going to take the step in making the investment? So Rep. Tanzi pointed out very clearly the elements of the state's transit master plan and what it would achieve. This is something that we have. It's been well vetted. This is not just a shot in the dark where we're going to just invest in anything. We've got a vision and a plan for it, and I would just strongly encourage you to support both of those. And I'll just say for the record, the other bills that we're supporting is 8145, 8178, 8202, 8315, 8369, 8317, and 8298. And I thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your testimony. I appreciate it. Rep. Tanzi?
Thank you, Chairman. So, John, you have very deep knowledge from your time both at Grossmart as well as sitting on the State's Transportation Advisory Committee. How would you say funding has gone for bicycle infrastructure over the time as compared to investment, let's say active transportation versus road mileage and DOT investment?
Well, you pointed out earlier when referring to the bicycle mobility plan that as of last year, we were 1.7% of the way to full implementation, which we would expect at this point. Those plans are now 6 years old, that we would be at closer to 20%. So we have a lot of room to make up. We know that the DOT has a long list of state of good repair projects. We don't take issue with state of good repair, but there are concerns about how much we're spending to achieve those outcomes. And that's why we support the efficiency study and the performance audit of the DOT, because we think that there's wonderful opportunity to squeeze out savings that will not only help the DOT undertake more state of good repair projects, but also make room in the 10-year transportation budget for more active and public transportation projects.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Representative
I just wanted to thank you for doing that word search. That's pretty cool. Thank you.